I'm working for Tinubu, not APC. Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, clarifies. INEC begins recruitment of ad hoc staff for Imo, Bayelsa, and Kogi polls. Nigeria's federal government gives international airlines a deadline to relocate, suspends the Nigeria Air project, which was expected to begin operations. Let's look at what's happening outside Nigeria. Rwanda has retired 12 generals. Cameroon, on the other hand, has reshuffled its defense ministry, all these after the coup in Gabon. The Nigerian junta has ordered the police to evict French ambassador amid a wave of anti-French sentiment in that country. Those are the headlines we're monitoring at this hour. On Politics HQ tonight, we will be discussing the appeal court ruling that ordered the Delta State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal to hear the suit filed by the candidate of the Labour Party, Ken Pella, in the March 18 election in that state. Our guests tonight on Politics HQ are Ken Pella himself, the Labour Party governorship candidate in Delta State, Efe Duku, member of the All Progressives Congress in Delta State. We'll be right back with more on Politics HQ. Welcome. If you're watching Politics HQ, Ken Pella, governorship candidate of Labour Party in the 2023 governorship elections in his state, in Delta State, has won his case at the Court of Appeal. The election, which saw the incumbent Sheriff Oborevwori declared governor, was taken to the appellate court by Labour Party's candidate Pela after his appeal was not allowed at the election tribunal. He went to the Court of Appeal to seek to allow his case be heard at the Election Petition Tribunal. He may have gotten an important push in his quest to become governor. Pella had initially approached the Delta State Election Petition Tribunal, but his case was thrown out on the grounds of lack of technicalities. With the decision of the Court of Appeal, Labour Party's candidate's case may now be heard by the tribunal. And this is coming weeks to the holding. The coming weeks, rather, hold so much in the Delta State politics. Now, to unbundle all of these on Politics HQ tonight, I'm glad to say we have joining us Ken Pella himself, the Labour Party governorship candidate in Delta State. We also expect to have Efe Duku, a member of the All Progressives Congress in Delta State, to give his take as well. Ken Pella, very glad to have you on the program tonight. Welcome. All right. It seems you're muted, so please kindly check your device and unmute yourself.
Oh, okay. I said I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
You don't seem all smiles. You're smiling, but I'm sure that you've already had the opportunity to scream and shout and jump. And how are you feeling tonight? Ken Pella, how are you feeling?
Oh, I feel good. I feel good. It's been a long, tortuous journey. Justice in this country is quite frustrating, but we persevered and we're here. We got judgment in our favor, and I'm grateful to God for that.
Interesting. Kindly provide us with some background on your petition, the original petition, and the issues it raised.
Okay, like my principal would say, if you are going to answer the name His Excellency, the process that leads to your being called His Excellency must be excellent. So we're basically challenging the process of the election, the process that led to it, and the process that resulted in whatever results that were declared. We're challenging the election on 3 grounds. The first is non-qualification of the PDP candidates and the APC candidates. The second is substantial non-compliance, and then the third is corrupt practices, and basically those are the 3 grounds that we are under which we're challenging the petition. I mean the election. Now we have filed our petition, and we Well, the process of election trials here in this country is that then when you have completed pleadings, you file a Form TF-007 and a Form TF-008 applying for pretrial hearings where the issues will be narrowed down to ease the whole trial process. Now, we have 7 respondents in our matter, all right? And after they had 3 of those respondents have completed pleadings, the other 4 were delayed based on the fact that they had avoided service, so we had to go for substituted service. And mindful of time, we started the process of pretrial hearing by filing the requisite forms, and that process started. We had the first pretrial date where it was noticed that some of them are still not completed pleadings, and then it was adjourned to another date. And at that second adjourned date, surprisingly, even though they had completed that process, they had responded to all the issues raised in the Form TF-007, the counsel to the second and third respondents, which is the current governor and his deputy, then raised an objection saying that we had filed our process out of time. My layman's understanding of out of time is that, you did not file it within the time, you filed it after. However, they said we had filed before, and whatever we had filed was premature and incompetent. And on the basis of that, they applied that our petition be dismissed on the grounds of abandonment. Oyibo abandonment means you not show. I don't understand how you would show up, how you would be there, how you are diligent, how you have done it early, and they would rule abandonment.
That's a technicality. That's a technicality because they're saying that you failed to avail yourself of the 7-day window for pre-hearing notice, and then you also failed to apply for another pre-hearing notice, thereby rendering your petition abandoned.
Listen.
Kofi Bartels.
Sorry, Kofi. Sorry. Now listen. That rule says when the respondent has completed pleadings, okay, one, not multiple, had completed pleadings, you file the pretrial hearing, notice. Now, I told you we had 7 respondents. 3 of them had completed, and so we filed. What they're saying is that we should have waited for the last one to complete it and filed within 7 days after. Now, like the justices, in their wisdom ruled today, that provision of the Electoral Act is to punish those who may just file and abandon their cases, not to punish those who were diligent enough to have filed before time or to have filed within time, because within time starts from when the first one completes pleadings. Okay? If you take the rule in itself, all right, the rule is the respondent. It doesn't make provision for multiple respondents. All right? So in any case, to the glory of God, the honorable justices ruled in our favor that it would not serve justice for us to be shut out for that technicality.
Interesting. So that
was the wrong.
Yes. So if we go by what the 3-man panel of appeal court judges said, they're saying that your petition should be heard on merit, on its merit. So this is sort of a victory over merit over technicality. Would you say that?
Exactly. And they've been saying it. During the last hearing date, one of the justices asked the question, and because, you know, one of the counsels was raising an issue of another technicality. And so the justice said, yes, we keep saying that election petitions are sui generis, meaning that they are special and stand on their own. And then he asked the question that you're raising all these technicalities. You're forgetting that election petitions are special in the sense that it doesn't just concern both parties. Okay, the petitioner and the respondent. It also includes thousands, hundreds of thousands, in cases, millions of people who voted, and it affects them. So justice must not just be done, but must be seen to be done. And technicalities don't serve that purpose. All right? So the point that's being made, and I believe that's being made in this judgment, is that technicalities should have no place in election petition tribunals.
All right. Quite interesting, Ken. You scored a total of 48,027 votes. You came third in that election compared to the winner who polled, that's the current governor, who polled 360,234 votes, and Oborevwori Agege, former Senate Deputy President of the APC, who polled 240,229 votes. You were only able to beat the ABGA candidate who came forth with 11,000. Even if you, would you say this shows that you don't really have the mandate, the support of the people of Delta State to even want to claim to have won the election? You know, some would say, well, whatever the outcome is, you would never have that recognition as a legitimate governor because the people did not vote. Because you are also going out to say, make me governor on technicality as well. If they put you side by side with the current governor, side by side with Oborevwori Agege, who will get the most votes? It could be argued that you will come third, same, all right? So you are not saying that they rigged the election. You are saying they are not qualified to contest the election.
No. I told you we have 3 grounds. Okay? 2 of those grounds have to do with the election itself. All right? It includes the fact that there's substantial overvoting, okay, in several of the local governments. One of the reports that we'll present in court, I believe, is a statistician's report that there's substantial overvoting in 24 of Delta's 25 local governments. Okay? Now, I'll just say one simple thing. Anybody who saw the presidential elections and also saw the governorship elections will agree that we didn't have up to 1/4 of the people that came out in the presidential elections come out in the governorship elections to vote. All right? Because of the fact that what happened at the presidential elections led to significant apathy. All right? But funny enough, we had supposedly substantially more votes in the governorship election than the presidential election. Okay? And now our case at the tribunal aims to also prove that there was substantial overvoting and a lot of those results that were declared in the favor of the other parties were rigged.
Interesting. What's your take, before I move on to other questions, what's your take on the ongoing leadership tussle at the national executive of your party? We're having courts, confusion as courts of coordinate jurisdiction are naming Julius Abure on one side, or let me say Lamidi Apapa on one side, and Julius Abure on the other side as chairman of your party, the latest being an appeal court confirming Abure as LP national chairman. How will this, one way or the other, whichever way the pendulum swings, affect your petition?
There's really no tussle. I mean, we in the Labour Party don't see that. What we have is someone who's being sponsored to just cause confusion. Okay, that's played out several times. It's played out several times, and each of those times they have failed, and they will continue to fail. All right, we have only one recognized national chairman of the party, and that's Julius Oborevwori. That's undisputed.
Okay, all right. So if tomorrow Lamidi Apapa emerges, maybe by virtue of a Supreme Court ruling, which is the final court of appeal, or final appeal court, yes. All right. If the Supreme Court rules that Apapa is the chairman of your party, then they're going to throw out your candidature because you came in under the Pela primary. So aren't you worried about that?
Now, at the time, that can't even happen because at the time my primaries was done, the Apapa issue hadn't even come up. Okay? And the truth is, you can't build something on nothing. And it's not possible for 3-4 people to just come down and sit down and declare someone who had been out of the party. Apapa has been out of the party for long before that time. All right, so that I mean, it just doesn't even begin to make sense. All right, so I absolutely have no fears in my mind. I'm not worried about that at all.
All right. Well, we will be watching this space and we'll be monitoring your petition as it proceeds. Of course, we won't be able to talk about the substantive matters when it starts, but I want to thank you very much for your time. Congratulations on your victory in the court. Is there any suggestion this may go further, or that's the final point at the Court of Appeal? Just quickly, please.
No. Well, we don't know what the respondents will do. They may decide to go to the Supreme Court, but at that point in time, that becomes, we will go on with the tribunal while we do that, if they decide to do that. All
right. Thank you very much, Ken Pella, Labour Party's governorship candidate in Delta State. We appreciate your time.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.